Hi everyone. Now, this definitely has to be one of my favourite chapters in the whole book. It has some of my favourite maths things in it. First of all, we're going to have a little look at rules and properties and the order that we do operations in, because it is quite important. If anybody's ever played that game Operation, they know that you have to be very, very careful about your operations. Now, the first example shows a little problem and how 3 different children did it. Find the cost of 4 children's tickets and 2 adults' tickets. Write the method of calculating this in equation form. Adults were €8, children were 5. So what Pat decided to do was add the price of the tickets together, got 13, added how many people, and he got 6, and then he did 13 sixes. Well, Pat, I'm afraid you're not going to get the coconut today. Ruth, on the other hand, did something even crazier. She said she'd add €5 plus 2, getting €7. What was she on about there? So she's really mixed things up, because €5 was a price and 2 was a number of people. That's definitely not going to work. Let's have a little look at Sam. Sam is definitely getting the prize today for the student who got it right. He said there were 4 €5 tickets, so that's 4 times 5 making 20. There were 2 €8 tickets, 2 8s are 16, and then he added the 2 prices together. So Sam got it right. He did his multiplying first, and then he did his adding. And not only did he multiply first and then add, but he, unlike Ruth, multiplied and added the right things. So it's very important to respect the order of operations. You do your brackets first, then multiplication or division, whichever comes first in the sum, reading it from the left, then addition or subtraction, again reading from the left. And there's a little saying here for you: boats may drift at sea, like that one that washed up down in Cork, the MV Alta. Now, here are some sums, and if you're very clever, you will notice that A has a 1, a 2, and a 3. They all have the same numbers, but they've been jiggled around a bit. Do you think you'll get the same answer each time? 8 and 7 are 15, and 3 is 18. 3 and 7 make 10 plus 8, 18 again. Doing my brackets first, 3 and 8 make 11, plus 7 is 18. Didn't matter, sure it didn't. When you're adding numbers, it doesn't matter which ones you do first. So I would advise you always look for your friends at 10. There's 3 and 7. That was the easiest sum, wasn't it? When you're subtracting, here are your 3 numbers again. The order has not been changed. They've been kept in the correct order. But in this one, we're doing 19, take away 5, then take away 3, reading left to right. So that's 14, take away 3 is going to be back to 11. 19 take away 5, 14, take away 3, back to 11. Here doing our brackets first. 5 take away 3 is 2. Then 19 take away 2 would only be 17, so that is a different answer, isn't it? 4 times 8 times 2. Is that the same as 4 times 2 times 8? As 8 times 2 times 4? Well, I think you'll remember from 3rd class that it's all the same. The order does not matter one little bit. Looking at the last one, 80 divided by 4 divided by 2. So let's just go left to right first. 80 divided by 4 is 20. Divided by 2 is 10. Same sum again. They've put it in brackets this time, but it doesn't change what I did. On this one, they've put 4 divided by 2 in brackets. So I must do that first. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 80 divided by 2 is 40. Different answer. So the brackets really did seem to make a difference with the subtracting and with the dividing, didn't they? Complete the 2 sentences, right? Does or does not. When doing addition or multiplication, the order of operations does not matter. When doing subtraction or division, the order does matter. So here's some for you to practice. Now, the little person is telling you when multiplying and dividing are in the same number sentence, you do whichever comes first. I've already told you that. Now, here we are doing a little bit of problem solving. So, this tells us what the prices cost. David bought 2 adult stand tickets and 3 children's tickets. Find the total cost. This is very similar to the sum on the first page. So 2 adults tickets, that's going to be multiplying, isn't it? 2 times 35. 3 children's tickets, that's going to be 3 times 5. Those have to be done before we add them together. So I'd suggest perhaps that you do brackets around the multiplying sums. They're done first, and then an addition sign in the middle. Down here, put the correct operation sign, and there are only 4 of them. Add, subtract, multiply, divide into the egg, and then calculate each answer. Eileen bought 2 teas and 3 rolls. How much did she spend? So again, you're going to have to figure out the tea and the rolls separately and add together. So the tea was 150, 2 times 150, 3 times, oh no, was it 3 rolls? Yeah, those are expensive rolls, aren't they? 355, 3 times 355, put them in brackets and add them at the end. Just take it nice and slow and steady and it'll go beautifully. Now this is a fun page because it's where art meets maths. You're looking for patterns. Initially this doesn't look like there's much of a pattern, but one thing that can help you is to break it down into its components. So we've got shapes. First of all, you've got your circle, your square, your triangle, back to your circle. So do you think it's going to loop along and the next one might be a square? Looking here, the inside of it is exactly the same as this one, so yes, I think that's going to start repeating after the third one, because it's not the number of shapes, and it's not that the shapes are moving around inside in a very predictable way. But then underneath as well, we have these little sticks coming out. 1, 2, 3, 1. So I think this is going to be 2 and 3, isn't it? Again, this one, look at the components. Everything is a hexagon, so we are confident that the hexagons are going to repeat. But then we've got these little isosceles triangles in between. So I think we can confidently say it's going to be hexagon, isosceles, hexagon, isosceles, hexagon. So isosceles will be next, and these are alternating. So it's going to be one of these ones. And the hexagons are also alternating, so it'll be that hexagon next. Have a look at this one and this one yourself. Again, if you're finding it hard, look at the top row and then look at the lower row. It might make it easier to figure it out. More challenging sequences are ones where things kind of build up a little bit. Like, have a look at this one, for instance. 1, 2, 5, 10, 17. Well, first of all, it's definitely going up. Let's try and see what the difference is between them first. The difference between 1 and 2 is 1. Between 2 and 5, the difference is 3. Between 5 and 10, the difference is 5. Between 10 and 17, 7. So my differences went 1, 3, 5, 7. Oh, that's beginning to look like a pattern, isn't it? So the next one, the difference will be 9. So if I add 9 to my last term there, to 17, 26 is the next term. So that one is worked out by subtracting. Sometimes there might be other things involved, like looking at this one. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. So if I tried subtracting here, difference of 1, difference of 2, might be onto something. Difference of 4, difference of much more. But 1, let's try multiplying. Double 1 is 2, double 2 is 4, double 4 is 8, Double 8 is 16. Double 16. 16 times 2, 32, and so on. In this one, you have to figure it out and find the missing terms. And here's a little bit more practice with your order of operations. Now, my favorite page in the whole book. Down here, Paschal's triangle. They've only given it half a page, but you know, you could spend a month having fun with Pascal's triangle and you still wouldn't know everything about it. People are even studying this in college. It's a really nice pattern. So you can figure out the missing numbers. Like, it starts up at the very top with 1, then underneath 1, 1. The outside numbers are always 1. And you find the next numbers by doing something to the numbers in the row before. Like 1, 1, 2. 1 and 2 makes 3. 2 and 1 makes 3. 3 and 3 makes 6. Then there's other things happening coming down. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 3, 6. It's so lovely. Good old Pascal. Keeps people happy. This one has a little bit of work about tropical storms. Now, this is not at all hard. It's just a matter of being careful and copying it out. So, name the first tropical storm of 2015. You're going to be able to read that off the chart. The first one is this one, Anna. What letter will be used for the fifth storm of 2017? Well, they've told us up here in the blurb that they're going A, B, C, D, and so on, but there's some letters that aren't used. But the next one will be E, so E will be used. When you're doing this one, it'll just be a matter of copying things in the right order. Like Alex is up here, so underneath Alex will be Bonnie, Colin, and Danielle, and beside Alex will be Arlene, Brett, Cindy, and Dawn. Not too hard. I would spend the time on Pascal. He really deserves it. So that's that chapter, and have fun.